Hello, hello, hello. Y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know exactly why I'm here. Yeah, I'm getting all these notifications blowing up my phone, my laptop about what salacious headlines I've seen say that Coach Prime has been hit with recruiting violations by the NCAA. And yeah, that's why I'm here. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to gather yourselves because I had to gather myself, and we're gonna try to understand what's going on here. It does not, in my opinion, you can't go by the media. You really can't. You can't just go, okay, I read this headline, and that's what it said. It says, Coach Prime punished by NCAA. I was like, what? For violations. That's what it said. And it was a lengthy article. Like it had a lot of words, like a lengthy article, various sections, and it's something to do with Julian Lewis. And I immediately flipped to another page. Hey, hey, hey. I immediately flipped to another page. Hey, Blue Devil, we in here. This is an emergency pod. Game night is tonight, 8 o'clock. Turn your notifications on. And but right now, I'm talking about the breaking news that came out. I was on my laptop getting ready to sign off for the weekend. And I saw, did you see Blue Devil? The headlines, it says Coach Prime hit with NCAA violations for recruiting, something to do with Julian Lewis, who committed to Colorado. So that's why we here. And yeah, I don't uh I did some reading. I think I didn't even do any watching. I saw like one of my typical like YouTubers that I always see that show up in my feed. And I know I was the first person to comment under um so you heard about it? Okay, so let me know your thoughts in the chat. But I saw one person that I know from Colorado that posts like a content creator, and he was talking about it a little bit. And I was the first person under his comments, and I know my comment said, I can't believe like what these headlines are saying. I said, but based off what I'm hearing, Colorado realized something happened in a coach's show that I didn't even know existed. It's produced by CU, and it sounds like it was during the period, the soft period where Juju committed, like the soft commitment. Then you get the hard commitment, December 4th or whatever, signing day. So they're saying that somewhere around November 21st, that Coach Prime said Julian Lewis's name out loud. I'm like, what? What? I said, are you trying to tell me this like six sections, some BS was coming? Yes. And you know what, Blue Devil? I don't like the timing of this. I don't like the timing of this. And my question is, okay, so you're trying to tell me that Julian Lewis visited Colorado twice, June and October. And then he soft committed to Colorado, right? Somewhere around the 22nd or something like that. So the day before that, on the 21st, Coach Prime was on a coach's show that's produced by CU. And I guess it was on their YouTube channel. And apparently, November 21st, Coach Prime mentioned Juju's visit. So help me understand this, okay? Help me understand this. How is it that an athlete can visit a university, the football team, twice? The university come for two visits, June and October. He came for the Cincinnati game. June and October, right? He commits on hard soft commit or something the 22nd, and Coach Prime can't say his name on the 21st. Are you serious right now? Like, how can an athlete come to the school twice, but the coach can't say his name? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Because where did this come from? And I don't like the timing of it because we understand that Coach Prime is negotiating, his contract, and I know that they're probably further along than we thought. So my question is, If this happened in November, what is today's date? It is 121. So November 21st, December 21st, January 21st. That's a lot of that's 60 days. Why are we just now hearing about this? And who was sitting down looking at a video from November 21st that the NCAA didn't know about? Who was looking at this video that knows the recruiting rules to notice that the day before a commitment by a student who had been on campus twice, June and October, respectively, including the Cincinnati game, who went back to watch that video to say, "Oh, we made a mistake." So they're trying to say Coach Prime's not gonna be. They pulled the show. He's not gonna be doing the show anymore. Um, yeah, I agree with that. Talking about we pulled his show and we're sending Coach Prime. He's gonna be taking some NCAA rules classes. I'm like, first of all, why is that a rule in the NIL era? So you mean to tell me you can offer a university can offer a high school student $10 million while he is in high school. He hasn't even had his last spring break yet. And he committed early, just like Juju did. He committed early, which is why I don't like these early commitments. And he committed to school A out here in Topeka, Kansas. This is hypothetical, okay? And he commits early to some school in Topeka, Kansas. He excited. He hadn't even started his senior year yet. He gets to his senior year. He becomes the number one star player, wide receiver, number one wide receiver in the country. And you mean to tell me you can offer him after he committed to some school in Topeka, Kansas, you can offer him $10 million and he leaves his dream school in Topeka, Kansas and comes to play for school B in Buffalo. School B is also the school that happens to be offering him $10 million while he's still in high school, hasn't even taken his final spring break yet. That's not a violation, but a student who has come to the university twice, June and again in October, is clearly interested. And the only reason the student can't say, I want to commit to Colorado is because he has to wait until December the 4th. So he made what's called a soft commit somewhere around the 22nd or something. So on the 21st, after this student has come to this university twice, October and June and October, between October and December, the coach can't say his name, but he's soft committed already. The coach can't say his name, even though he's visiting the school. The coach can't even utter his name out loud. We know the visits are public. All Coach Prime said, he talked about the visit. The visits are public. So why is it a big deal for Coach Prime to say, oh yeah, Juju came to visit or the visit was good or whatever? Why is that a violation? What are you afraid that in the NIL era when high school students are being offered $10 million and they're leapfrogging from Topeka to Buffalo? What you concerned that if a coach says a player's name out loud on November 21st, 2 weeks before December 4th, what you think in the NIL era that's gonna somehow confuse this kid? You know what's confusing? I can get $10 million, but my coach can't say my name out loud. That's confusing. Well, who offered the high school student who leapfrogged from Topeka, Kansas to Buffalo? The kid can come to the university multiple times, go to a football game. He can soft commit on the 22nd, but because the coach says on the 21st, he came to visit something that is public information, that is somehow a violation, but pay for play is not. You tell me how a high school student gets a $10 million offer and he hadn't started his senior year yet, and he was committed to school in Topeka, Kansas, but now he leapfrogging a Buffalo. How did that go down? Telepathy? Oh, we are worried about the wrong things here. Like, M&Ms in the airport cost $6. That's important. Not being able to say a person's name out loud in 2025 when they can be offered $10 million while they are in high school is ridiculous. So let's move on to how we got this information. So the headlines are salacious. The headlines are salacious. Hey, Gracie, the headlines are salacious. You would think that Coach Prime flew to Juju's house on a Gulfstream, picked him up, and let him fly the plane around Georgia and let him fly back home and landed on his street. That's how salacious the headlines are. And it makes me wonder, where did this come from? Because we're talking about a coach's show produced by CU, which I didn't even know existed. I'm just gonna be honest. And Colorado has pulled the show, and of course, they pulled the episodes off of YouTube, but the show no longer exists. Who found this video? I'm very the timing of this is just like really, really, really suspicious. How do you find this right now? Who was looking at video from November 21st from a coach's show and happened to know the recruiting rules? Please tell me. Or did somebody come to them and say, hey, I remember just out the blue on December 21st, I heard Coach Prime say Juju name out loud. Why are we just now hearing about this when Coach Prime is in contract negotiation? This looks very suspicious. And now Coach Prime has to take some rules class for a rule that shouldn't even exist because I can offer a high schooler $10 million and he flips from Topeka, Kansas to Buffalo, and that's not pay for play. That's not concerning. So yeah, Blue Devil, I'm not surprised either. Um, I pinned your comment because that's crazy. It says the NCAA and college football coaches out to get Coach Prime. Exactly. The headlines are so salacious. You would have never thought when you started reading the article that you would be reading something that Colorado self-imposed. You would think that the NCAA rolled up on the steps in black jackets and fedoras like, hey, come with me. That's what the headlines look like. They're so salacious, hit with violations. Colorado went to the NCAA and say, hey, we think we made a mistake here, or we noticed something that we didn't realize back then, but it's been brought to our attention. Because who figured it out? Who figured it out? And they want to bring it out while Coach Prime is in contract negotiations. You look at USC. I mean, I just heard that their coach is in trouble because another quarterback has gone belly up. I mean, but here's my thing. One, I don't like these super early commits. I think Juju committed to USC a year and a half before the actual signing day. Like, these kids are young, like they are impressionable. And I just really think we got to curb that. Number one. Number two, this is 2025 when athletes are like semi-pros can be paid $10 million while they're in high school. But I can't say their name out loud. But visits are public information. I'm assuming Coach Prime saw the kid while he was visiting in June and October, unless you're trying to tell me that Coach Prime wasn't even allowed to meet with Juju when he came in June or October. And then this just drags Juju into something that people have to explain. Oh no, Juju didn't do anything. He's good. So to me, that kind of is messy because, you don't know how Juju's family feels about Juju's name being dragged into this. They might feel like we do. Okay, this is ridiculous. But just in case they don't, this is how people start mess. Hey, Gracie. It says it's not official yet. What's not official yet? All he said was he talked about the visit. So you're trying to tell me an athlete can come to a university twice, but the coach can't talk about the visit? He can't do that. He can't say, "Oh yeah, Juju came and he liked the weight room." He can't do that. That's what you're trying to tell me, Blue Devil? Just because it's not official, I can't say his name. I can't mention he had a visit, which is public information, and he likely spoke to him, Coach Prime, at the visit. That's what you telling me, Blue Devil? I know it's official December the 4th, but the point is there was already a soft commit. It's public knowledge. It's public knowledge. Y'all hit the like button for me, please. It's public knowledge that Juju visited twice. I looked it up. It's right there. Even the date he committed is there. The date that he soft committed is there. The date that he hard committed is there. And they can still change their mind after the commitment. Case in point, Oregon signed on signing day their next quarterback, right? So just like we saw Juju spending time with the team and some of the other new buffs, spending time with the team, they were at the Alamo Bowl, they had the jerseys on. And this kid who signed with Oregon on National Signing Day hung out with Oregon. I think he took photos with the team. He had the jerseys, all of that, bringing them into the fold and, showing them off at the bowl games. Oregon lost that game. And guess what he did? He decommitted. That's ridiculous to say Coach Prime can't say this kid name because it's not official yet, but the kid can turn around and leave the school because they lost the bowl game. Come on now. This is ridiculous. $10 million. And after December 4th, I still can change my mind. It's not official. It's never official till they suit up the day that they show up to school. And then they can leave after that. You understand that, right? They're not bound by anything. We had people on the O line who just went MIA. You know understand? So this rule that Coach Prime can't say Juju's name after Juju visited twice and was supposed to wait till December the 4th when it's official, but then he could decommit. That right there is foolishness. That's just foolishness. Like there's no harm in Coach Prime saying Juju's name because this is the NIL era. If Oregon couldn't keep their quarterback that signed on December 4th, hung out with them during the whole bowl game and playoff game, and they lost that game and he still bounced, then Coach Prime saying Juju's name or any coach saying any players, hey, they visited on, that's public information. That's public information. So it's official when you sign. No, it's not. It's official when you show up for the first game in your pads and you are ready to play. That's when it's official. And you can still change your mind afterwards. What I'm saying, guys, is this makes absolutely no sense. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. It says we all know that the rules are different when it comes to us. Yep, Gracie, because this is foolishness. I still want to know that how on earth can a school, listen to this. We talking a high school kid, okay? You got a kid in high school who hasn't started his senior year yet, or he's in his first semester of his senior year. And because it's public information, that he committed to the University of Topeka in Kansas, okay? But then you offer him $10 million. So what? You offered him a visit to your school? You offer him $10 million somewhere along the line, and then he just ups and decide, oh, I don't want to go to my dream school no more. I'm going to this school over here, and it's the same school that offered him $10 million. You trying to tell me that that's not pay for play? What is it then? That's a violation. You call it what you want, but because the coach didn't say his name out loud when he came for a visit, oh, so-and-so came to visit us. Oh, okay, because explain to me how you get next to him anyway after he committed. It's never official until they show up for the first game and they can still change their minds. The point is, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. All he did was say he came for a visit. That's public information. So because he said it, but somebody can go Google it, it's a violation? No. We're going to have to try a little harder. That doesn't make any sense. And I still want to know where this information came from on January 24th. If it took place November 21st on some YouTube show that don't exist no more. What I do know is there are no coincidences and we are in the middle of contract negotiations. I do know that. And I know if somebody would come to me when I know I'm owed $10 million and say, well, you know what? We're going to go ahead on and offer you by, 8, because it's a little blemish on the school. We had to cancel the show. I'm telling you right now, I'll be packing my Louis bag and out the door because I would feel set up. I would feel set up. People are like, "Oh, I think this is just marketing." I don't think it's just marketing. It seems like somebody either already had this or they went looking for it and they bring it up now. And I just don't understand like why it shouldn't even be a rule. It shouldn't even be a rule. For one, it's probably too many rules to remember anyway. But this rule just doesn't make sense. And honestly, it doesn't matter that it's Coach Prime. This could be any university because how are you okay with high schoolers being offered $10 million after they committed to school A by school B and they leapfrog to school B? How are you okay with that? But you got a problem. You don't have a problem with that because that looks like pay for play. But you have a problem because a coach, regardless of his name, said something about a player that visited the school, which is public record. It's not like it was a secret that Juju came to Colorado and we didn't want USC to know. It was public information. It says most certainly is pay for play. Of course, that's pay for play. When I read that settlement, House versus NCAA, I think it was the IRS, NCAA. That's what they were trying to curtail with these NIL collectives. They said because the collectives were running around trying to recruit, which is not something they were supposed to be doing in the first place. And secondly, all the money that they were getting were not creating NIL deals. It was like pay for play, and they don't. That's not what they wanted to encourage. So you tell me how a high school student who hasn't even had his final spring break, gone to prom, taken his high school photos, probably may I'm sure probably most kids right now they getting their letters back on where they're going to college, and this kid already got a $10 million offer from not the first school that he committed to, the second one, and then he changes schools. We not talking about that though. We talking about because Coach Prime said something about Juju when he came to visit when it's public record. So now we got to live with this all weekend. We got to live with this all weekend. But to me, I think the most curious factor about all of this, besides the fact that this rule is ridiculous and outdated and needs to move on, is the timing of this and who brought this up. That Colorado realized they made a mistake. So, how did this come about? Did somebody watch the show recently on YouTube and go, "Oh, let me look at Coach Prime from November 21st. Oh, shoot, he said Juju name. He said Juju was visiting the school. Yeah, we heard about it because it's in Google, but he's not supposed to say his name. Come on now." K, it says Lord 20. Is that Lord LWRD 22? I knew it was just a matter of time. They were going to do this to Coach Prime. These haters are trying to run Coach Prime out of college football. I guarantee other coaches have done the same. I mean, how can you not? It's public information. I wouldn't even think. Now, I could see. Thank you for that. Let me pin that. Thank you for that. Think about this. Student visits are not secrets. Now, I don't know if they have I don't know if Juju had to tell USC that he was coming to Colorado and but USC they can't be behind this. And the reason why is because they done lost another quarterback. Like they were trying to get this other guy and that went south. So what's going on with their coach has nothing to do with this. It just makes me feel like somebody was either digging for something and they found it. They say when you go look for something, you'll find it, right? Um, Seems like somebody was trying to find something. But here's the question: is it an outsider or is it an insider? And the reason why I said is it an outsider, like an outsider found it, brought it to an insider, and they're like, "Oh, we messed up. We got to fix this." Or is it, "Hey, we doing some negotiations with Coach Prime, and we probably should give him about $10 million, but this is a hard number for us to get to, because we hadn't gone to the playoffs, the championship, or nothing like that. So, we just trying to figure out how, the best go about this. So we need to make sure before we offer him this $10 million that there's nothing out there that can embarrass us." And then somebody go digging. Or somebody already knew and said, well, you know what? I kind of remember back in November, when Coach Prime said on that show that I don't even know how many views it had. I didn't even know about it. When they said it, something he said on social media, I was like, I'm thinking, well off media. And Shador done already put out a statement. If you want to know anything, go to Dion Jr. He like, don't come to ask me nothing. I didn't even know what that was about. I was out for lunch. When I came back and opened my laptop, lo and behold, Coach Prime is punished by the NCAA. I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? I don't like it. I don't like it because of the timing of it. And I'm side eyeing some people because I want to know where it came from. Is this a negotiation tactic to try to explain to Coach Prime why they trying to lowball him? That's how I feel. I'm just gonna be honest with you because if USC had this, they could have been put that out there. If another coach knew about it and didn't say nothing, and he trying to salt Coach Prime's game or something like that, then I could kind of see that. But I don't like it because of the timing. I'm just gonna be honest. I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to know where did this come from? Who brought this to somebody's attention and said, did you go digging in some files and you was just bored and watching the videos and you happen to know NCAA violations and you like, hey, yeah, I think this is a violation. Who does that? So somebody either had to come to you or you went digging for something after you learned the rules and you was kind of hoping that you would find something and you did. Kind of like when you go through somebody's phone. It's the same thing. When they walk out the room, you go through their phone and you find something and you like, see, I knew you wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? But you looking through my phone. So, it's kind of like that. That's what it's giving. Y'all let me know your thoughts. It said, my third eye tells me to look to the institution that lost out, USC. Oh, Blue Devil said the same thing. I just can't see them saying that right now, unless you think they're trying to throw a monkey wrench in Coach Prime's contract. Now that's possible. That's possible. That's possible, Gracie. That's possible. It says Blue Devil. Look at the guy at the Denver Post. Oh, that reporter, the one that was having the issue with Coach Prime, and then Coach Prime let him come back. The CBS guy. Is that who it is? That one from CBS? Let me look up his name. Is that the one you talking about from CBS? It's somebody, and we do know that they had some people. There was this one reporter. I thought he was doing a beat for CBS, and maybe he works for the Denver Post, Keelan or somebody like that. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna do some digging. We go live at 8 o'clock. It's game night. Y'all show up. Make sure you got your culture knowledge up to snuff if you can make it. If you can make it. But we're gonna play a game tonight. But of course, I already had a lineup of things I wanted to talk about. And I'm gonna put this back in there because of course I'm probably gonna go. I'm done for the day and for the week. So I'm probably gonna go start trying to dig and see if I can get down to the motive of where this came from. But it's not leaving me with a good feeling because if it's what Gracie and Blue Devil said, something to do with USC trying to throw a monkey wrench in the Coach Prime because he trying to get, his contract negotiated. How much does Lincoln Riley make? I think he make a lot of money too. I feel like he's 10 or 11, but I could be wrong. I need to Google that later. And if that's where it came from, then karma will be exacted. And if it came from in-house, if the call is coming from in the house, UNC of North Carolina just gave Bill Belichick $10 million contract for 5 years. So Colorado is got to pay Coach Prime the same. He's a proven coach. And I heard Coach Bill Belichick is getting $350,000 if he gets the school to a Pop-Tart Bowl. I read that overnight. So you see with that kind of incentive out there, I wanted to see if I could find Sarkeesian contract because they extended his contract too. I wanted to see what kind of perks he had in there to see what Colorado probably got to deal with because $350,000 for going to the Pop Tart Bowl. You have to be invited to the Pop Tart Bowl. Number one, you can't just go. You got to be invited. Last year it was Miami and Iowa State. So I mean, I don't even know how you Put some in there like that. You have to be invited to the Pop Tart Bowl. You don't just wake up and go, okay, we want a bowl game. Let's go to the Pop Tart Bowl. But he gets 350,000 in incentives. So that's funny though. It says CP banned him asking questions to Coach Prime. True, but I thought they made up though. I know who you talking about, Blue Devil, but I thought they made up. Matter of fact, I thought I remember Coach Prime asking him, "Oh, like you back or something like that." He said you got to eat or something like that. Let me see if I can find his name. Let's see. Hold on one second. Sean somebody. Hold on. Coach who? Coach Prime and reporter doesn't agree. I'm glad y'all found me. This is a midday pod. I wasn't expecting it. Y'all see, I don't even have my hair up or nothing. Reporter, let's see. Col- Colorado bans reporter Sean Keller. Sean Keller. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some looking tonight. I'm gonna be looking. Okay, y'all. So thank y'all. Hit the like button if you're on your way in, or if you come in for a minute, you can't stay. Make sure you hit the like button. And thank y'all for the what they say for the replay gang. I appreciate the replay gang. I appreciate y'all. I try to make sure I like all your comments too, because it helps to have those comments in the comment section once the live is fully uploaded. So I thank y'all for that. So I'm gonna look into that. Sean Keller, that's his name. So y'all think that's one, him, Sean Keller. Two, y'all think maybe USC because they lost out. Or three, the call is coming from within the house. But do y'all think this has anything to do, the timing? Do y'all kind of feel like the timing of Coach Prime's contract negotiation, whether it's USC call coming from within the house, or what was the first one? The reporter. Do y'all feel like one, two, and three might be spurred on, and the timing is because Coach Prime is in contract negotiations, and this could, people think maybe this could kind of hinder him from that $10 million deal? What y'all think about that? I don't think so. Okay, so you don't think that the contract thing, you think it's just hate. You don't think it's motivated by, okay, let me go ahead and throw this monkey wrench in his contract negotiation, because if he embarrassed the university, probably not going to give him that money. You don't think it's that. You think it's just general hate and the timing is a coincidence. Okay, I'll go with that. I don't believe that, but I'm going to just roll with that for right now. But I'm going to do some digging. You best believe that. Just hate. Blue Devil says just hate. Okay, all right, I'll take that. Anything else y'all want to add to that, Gracie? You say your third eye says it's USC. Okay, Gracie, since you said that, now I have to ask you the question. Do you think, based on what your third eye is revealing, that this has anything to do with the timing of Coach Prime being in contract negotiations? Or do you also, like Blue Devil, think it's just general hate? I mean, y'all think it's just hate. I don't. I don't like the timing of it. I just think here's the reason why I say it. I mean, let me just go ahead on and be transparent. Okay, so I saw an article today, and I don't know where some of these media people be, but you know how we kind of already know that Coach Prime, had waved off Dallas. That wasn't going to really, amount to anything. So I saw an article after I read the first one, salacious headline about the NCAA, that said, well, it looks like Dallas has its coach, I think, uh, Schottenheimer's son, something like that, or somebody. And it said, well, I guess that means that the hype for Coach Prime being the coach in Dallas is over. I was like, the hype? Why is that hype? And I was like, whatever. So I was thinking to myself, I said, now that see, that was leverage. Whether you knew it or not, the Vegas, Dallas, that was leverage. And that might have been Stephen A's motivation for kept pushing that. That was leverage. So now that leverage is off the table, I mean, Coach Prime should need leverage because he's done so well for the university, you know. Um, But now that leverage is like, oh, that was just hype, like saying it was never a reality, you know. And this coming out right after that. Because I read both of those articles back to back. I'm like, that's why I kind of wonder if the call is coming from within the house. And even if it started at USC, somebody had to go from knowing about it at USC or feeling some type of way about it at USC to Colorado. You see what I'm saying? Like this didn't happen yesterday. This happened in November. We have been through Christmas. We have been through New Year's, Thanksgiving, all kind of bowl games, the college playoffs, the Sugar Bowl, the Cotton Bowl. And the only thing that's left on the table right now, because recruiting is kind of done. We kind of know, who we got, so you're not trying to mess up recruiting. So you either trying to start some mess where Juju is concerned, or two people collaborating in the house and outside the house to mess up Coach Prime's negotiation. That's the only thing that's people can talk about right now. There's nothing else. Think about it. There's nothing else concerning Coach Prime right now. All the talk about him going to the NFL has waned, way well before we knew about Schottenheimer. Matter of fact, when Coach Prime said he declined the Dallas job or he wasn't interested in it, that's when Schottenheimer's name came up like the next day. So, because I had been following it, so that's what I'm saying. I think USC just mad they lost Juju and more players. All right, okay, we're gonna go with that. All right, y'all. So we've been in here for 35 minutes trying to figure out what's going on. And I think I have a better understanding that the headlines are just salacious. Somebody in Colorado knew about it. So I don't know how they knew. And we're gonna figure that out, maybe. And so once it was brought to the attention of either Coach Prime, Colorado, the AD, somebody, Colorado decided to self-impose. So Coach Prime loses 4 in-home visits. Honestly, I didn't know Coach Prime did in-home visits. I know y'all are like, well, of course he the head coach. I thought Pat Shermer did in-home visits. Remember, they come to the school. So if you come to the school like twice and Pat Shermer go to your house to make sure you still on board, I mean, don't they see Coach Prime? Okay, if anybody knows how recruiting trips go, because I do not. When you go visit the school once or twice, do you get to see the head coach and talk to him? Does anybody know? Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Even if you're just chilling in the background, hit the like button for me, please. Okay, Blue Devil, I'm asking you because, it seemed like, you kind of have some idea. So I'm just asking, when you go on a recruiting visit, the first time or the second time, do you get to ask the coach? Coach Prime doesn't do home visits. That's what I thought. So when they said he lost 4 in-home visits and Colorado pulled the show, I was like, what show? So I didn't know about the show, and I didn't think he did in-home visits. So we just gonna keep that between us. This channel small, so nobody gonna see it. We gonna keep that between us. So, you throw that into it, and whatever somebody tried to do, it didn't work. It didn't work. Did the NCAA issue a statement, or was everything like? I saw Sports Illustrated, I saw Athlon, I saw Impulse News First. So I read those 3. Then I watched one podcast from a content creator from Colorado. He had the early story. And then when I saw all of those 4 items, those 4 media items, Shador's comment made sense. Because when Shador had posted, if you have any questions, if you need any new information, or if you need any information, go to Dion Jr. I didn't know what he meant. I think I understand now. Instead of people asking him, I hope this doesn't like ruffle any feathers where Juju's concerned, because I really like Juju and I hope everything, works out. He seems to like it there too. So Coach Prime don't do home visits. Assistant coaches do home visits. That's what I thought. But they said one of the reprimands, I guess, or whatever from the situation, Colorado agreed to pull the show. That's on their YouTube. And they pulled whatever episode was in question. And 4 home visits in the spring. Unless that's not, I thought they said that was specific to Coach Prime. Because they said he got to take a class He lost a show on CU produced show. He got to take a class on the rules and 4 home visits. And I thought all of that was specific to Coach Prime because this doesn't involve anybody else. It doesn't involve Juju. It doesn't involve the rest of the coaches. So, okay, that makes sense. So, okay, when they go to the university for their visits, the 2 public visits that we can Google, are they allowed to meet the coach when they go for the visit? That's what I wanted to know. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling he didn't. So yeah, I kind of was thinking it. Okay, well, if I don't get the answer to that question, let me see if I can put it in the chat because that is a question. Let's see. I got 2 keyboards. Oh, the other one over there. Okay, hold on one second. Um, do student athletes who visit the university for recruiting trips meet the head coach? I'm just gonna say meet Coach Prime. Oh crap. Okay, hold on one second. Trips meet Coach Prime during the visits. Okay, so I put my question in the chat. Let me reread it first. It says, do student athletes who visit the university for recruiting trips meet Coach Prime during any recruiting visits? So that's the question I'm asking. And if we don't get an answer, like, if we don't get an answer right now, then I'm just probably going to ask it tonight when we go live because there might be some more details by then too. So I'm going to copy this and put it on my sticky notes. I keep those. Do y'all use those sticky notes that go on to the desktop on your laptop? That's what I'm put the note there. So I already had the Coach Prime topic. It said Coach Prime 4 home visits, lose 4 home visits due to saying Juju's name out loud. Because that's essentially what it was. Y'all do know that's what it was. It's not what he said. It's not like he said the wrong thing. He said his name. It comes down to him saying his name out loud. It's not what he said. It's the fact that he said his name out loud. He could have thought it to himself, but he couldn't say it out loud. It says they don't meet the head coach. Oh, okay. Why not? So why they don't meet the head coach? I have a million questions. If you gotta go, we can talk about this tonight. Why wouldn't they meet the head coach on a recruiting visit? Like, what is the purpose of the recruiting visit if you don't meet the head coach and you're going to play football there? See, that's interesting. So Coach Prime basically was talking about Juju's visit in a public way on a CU produced show, but technically he hasn't met Juju? Or is it possible Coach Prime had an in-home visit back then? Is it possible Coach Prime had an in-home visit back then? I didn't know they didn't meet the head coach. Okay. Maybe that's I don't know. I don't know. That's it don't make no sense, but how can you come to the school twice but you don't meet the head coach? Are you coming to tour the facilities? Are you coming to learn more about the football team and the facilities? I need athletes to be answering me. And Blue Devil, I take it that that's you. Thank y'all. Hit the like button for me, please. Don't be stingy with the like button. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Even if you stay for a minute or so, hit the like button. We're trying to educate us on how recruiting trips work. Believe you, believe you me, there's a catalyst for this. It could be the monkey wrench, not just against CP, but also against the team because they are now contenders. Yeah, because Colorado is ranked number 25. The new rankings just came out for next year, and Colorado is number 25. I thought we were number 23, but I guess with all the bowl games and stuff, we're number 25. Congratulations to Colorado. They are ranked number 25. And that announcement was made yesterday. And look at what we're dealing with today. That's that monkey wrench. Just walking the school and the campus. Oh, okay. Nothing to do with the okay, okay. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, it is clarity. I appreciate the clarity, Blue Devil. I thought when you go on a football visit, I thought the purpose of the visit was to visit the football team, kind of get a peek feel for the culture, that kind of thing. That's what I thought it was. But that doesn't sound like that's what it is. So just walking to school in the campus. So who's showing you around then? Like the football team or like some ambassadors of the school? I know you like she got a million questions. Yes, I do. I didn't know all of that. Okay, Blue Devil, you are enlightening me and probably other people in the chat. Thank y'all for being in the chat, hanging out with us. Please hit the like button. I know it's not a lot, but I see 14 and I see 8 likes. Hit the like button, please. That's 6 of you. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. It'll help my channel grow. Okay, Blue Devil. So they not really hanging out with the foot. I thought they hung out with the football team on a visit. I'm gonna have to go watch a documentary about student athletes going to visit their universities and see what the visit is like. That's crazy. I didn't know that though. But it still doesn't make sense. I mean, I feel like you think maybe that's like a Gracie, do you think that's an old rule that Coach Prime can't say the name out loud until you can't mention the athlete's name until signing day, but you could offer them $10 million? I feel like that's an old rule. I do. I feel like that's an old rule. Hmm. Okay. All right. CU has a scouting team. That's like Greek to me. What does that mean? A scouting team. You mean like players? I know they got a practice team. A scouting team? I'm thinking you talking about coaches or you talking about players? What's a scouting team? You got to put that out there for me. I don't know. I mean, I could look it up. I could look it up later. You don't have to put it out there. I can look it up because I have a lot of questions. I'm trying to figure out why this rule exists. Like, what is the harm in what Coach Prime said? He came for a visit to the school. That's public information. Maybe he had a good visit. That's public information. So that's what I want to know. He has a scouting team. Okay. All right. Well, anybody else have anything else to add before we close this emergency pod? Is everybody on the same page now? The fact that Coach Prime just said Juju name before December 4th. That's the understanding. That's what happened. And it was taped because it was recorded because it was on a CU produced podcast. We don't know if somebody trying to throw a monkey wrench, if the call is coming from outside the house, inside the house, are they working hand in hand to throw shade at Coach Prime or hurt his contract? Because yesterday it was reported that Colorado is ranked number 25. That's that's good for Coach Prime and the program. We don't know how this news is going to affect anybody. I feel like if CU podcasters can be very transparent and switch the narrative from the NCAA is punishing Coach Prime to Colorado's self-imposed sanctions or whatever the term is. I don't even know what the term is. It says Coach Prime. Oh, thank you, Lord. It looks like Lord LWRD 22. I'm gonna call you 22. Coach Prime has so many haters. The good old boys, especially ESPN networks. These haters are trying to stop Coach Prime from getting to big bowl games. I agree with that. I agree with that. Coach Prime do his recruiting by social media. Oh, okay. So that's why he always saying I ain't hard to find. And because he be online and he see people and stuff like that. Okay. Blue Devil G said, go out getting players for CU football. Oh, that's what the scouting team does. Okay. So, okay, did you see yesterday there was a video, it's on social media. It said the Buffs, like Colorado Buffs, it said the Buffs are out in Atlanta, like scouting. That's what they were doing. They made offers to people. So you're talking about the scouting team. That's what they do. So it's not the players were, it said, that's what it said. Buffs invade Atlanta. So, I'm thinking they came down for the college football playoffs because I know Shador was here because he's with, AT&T. But and I heard Dukes the Scoop, he said it. He said they made offers to players. I think he said they made offers to somebody nephew. And then he mentioned some more people. He said, and they're not, that's Georgia. They have no problem with going to Georgia and offering. And he said they're going after who they want. So you're talking about the scouting team. Okay. This is clarity. Thank you. Okay, Blue Devil, that makes sense. I guess I could stop asking you a million questions. So the scout team goes out and get players. Okay, this is good. And L 22, you're absolutely right. So okay, that's another factor. So remember, I said what else is going on other than Coach Prime and contract offers? Colorado was ranked number 25 yesterday. That came out yesterday. So that's two things that came out. And there are probably some people that are aggy about Colorado being ranked because they didn't even want us to get to a bowl game, which is why I felt like we got saddled with the Alamo Bowl. Not that it was bad, but it was like a conference game. And I knew they was going to try to hold it against us, but we still ranked 25. So that's not bad. I kind of like us starting at 25. But you know who we play first? Georgia Tech. I want to look at the schedule right fast. Coach Prime have a recruiting team that mostly do the recruiting. Oh, okay, 22. Thank you. So, didn't we lose somebody to Florida State, like a director? So, did we replace that person with somebody in house, or they don't need that position, or that position became unnecessary? Sometimes you can change people's roles; they can role share and stuff like that. Oh, it says somebody else just dropped a pod. Deion Sanders officially staying in CU. No NFL jobs this season. Okay, I think we knew that already though. Let me see something. CU schedule, Colorado schedule. Let me see something right fast. Let me see if I can try to figure out something. Hold on one second. Colorado football. If I'm talking too loud, let me know too, because the mic is right here. um. Okay. 20 is the 2025 schedule, is that right? Oh, here it is right here. Okay. 2025 schedule, Colorado. First up, August 30th. How many days is that from the day? 7 months. Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets at home in Colorado. I might pop up because the weather will be nice. We play Delaware Blue Hens. I never heard of them. We play them in September 6th, Labor Day weekend, I guess. Um, in Colorado. The first 3 games are in Colorado, y'all. Then we play the Wyoming Cowboys September 20th. Actually, the first 4 games. Is that right? All these games can't be. What? Check this out. The first game against Georgia Tech, the second game against Delaware, the third game against Wyoming, the fourth game against Arizona Wildcats, the fifth game against Arizona State Sun Devil, the sixth game against BYU, the seventh game against Iowa State are all in Colorado. They have 7 back-to-back home games. And then they play U of H in Houston, Kansas State in Manhattan, Kansas, TCU in Fort Worth, Utah in Salt Lake City, and West Virginia in Morgantown, West Virginia. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back-to-back away games. So they're gonna play the first 7 games. They'll have some bye weeks in there. So the first 7 games are home games. That's gonna be a moneymaker for Colorado. I didn't know you could do that. I thought you had to go back and forth. Let's see what y'all saying. Coach Prime have a recruiting team. Gracie, the timing is suspicious and makes the situation look hella shady. Yes. It was done to make CP and CU look bad. Yes. It feels messy. It tries to embarrass the school or something, but and it drags Juju into it. So like, is somebody trying to get Juju like to be unhappy? I don't like it. The timing is just not good. It said they are trying to paint the program as being illegitimate. Okay. Okay. This feel like somebody trying to get back, like y'all said. And the timing of the get back is Coach Prime's contract and embarrass the school, even though we're ranked number 25. The state see you in the scouting. The state see you in the scouting team is they're getting players in that state. The state see you in the scouting team is there. Oh, in Atlanta, getting not Atlanta, but Georgia, getting Georgia players. Good. I'm glad we get some players from Georgia. I was hoping that we got some of those players from Grayson. If y'all didn't watch, I don't care what game you watch. First and foremost, Grayson High School, their coach took them straight. His first year, just like Teddy Bridgewater in his high school. It's his first year as a high school coach. He's 30 years old, and he took his team all the way to the state championship, and they won. They beat Juju's team, Carrollton. When you go look at Grayson High School in Georgia, and you look at the size of their football players, you know what I said to myself? I said, this is where Georgia get all them big players from. They go to this one school right here in Georgia, and they like, y'all, just bring me the whole offense and the whole defense. Go look at the size of if I find a picture, I'm gonna see if I can share it. Grayson High School football players look like, if you look at Georgia's O line and D line, they came from right there. So I'm glad we're recruiting in Georgia. And they said we made offers. So, and it was several. It wasn't just like one or two people. So they doing their job. That scout team that you're talking about, Blue Devil, thank you for that. They are allowed to meet the coach during the campus visits. Okay, Gracie. So you say they can meet the coach, and Blue Devil say they can't. So I need to know. I need to know. I need clarity there. We're going to have to figure that out to see, because it does. I mean, the rule still doesn't make sense in the NIL era. I've said this, I don't know how many times, that you have a kid that's committed to one school already, like Juju committed to USC, and you can offer him $10 million and he switches schools. That's pay for play. So they are allowed to meet the coach during their campus visits. Okay. Did you look that up, Gracie, or do you just have that knowledge? Where'd you get that insight from? And thank you for sharing. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. 11 likes out of 14, 13 visiting. Thank you. Hit the like button on your way in or on your way out. Please don't be stingy with the like button. Thank you so much for hanging out with our community if you can't stay a long time. We go live tonight at 8 p.m. Central. We go live every day at 8 p.m. Central. It's Friday night. Bring your snacks. It's game night, so you need to get your culture up. We already have on deck several topics, and we'll revisit this one to see if any new updates came out. But right now, we're just talking about trying to ascertain why Coach Prime saying Juju's name was so harmful about that. That's what we're trying to figure out. They are allowed to meet the coach. Okay. All right. I'm going to take that. Blue Devil, you have any response to that? I don't know if some people at work. So I just want to be patient. All right, 15 and 12. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much. That's so awesome. 12 likes. I'll take it. 14 of us. Hit the like button on your way in, on your way out. Good afternoon, Kiel. Welcome. We were just talking about people. Are you at work? Peace. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Kiel is back, y'all. So we're talking about, you probably saw the caption on the video. Kiel, have you heard about Coach Prime and the university self-imposing, I guess, violations? I don't even know how to say it. What do you call it? Is it a punishment? Oh, okay. You at work? Okay. Is it a punishment, y'all? What is it really? Is it just saying violations and its consequences for the recruiting violations? It says self-imposing sanctions toward themselves. Oh, okay. Sanctions. That's the term. I didn't want to say that because that sounds serious. Okay. Duke's nephew committed to CU. Okay, so that was his nephew. I know he said, I thought he said my nephew, but I wasn't 100% certain. That's why I said somebody's nephew. That was his nephew. Oh, wow. Okay. I noticed he's a big Auburn fan. I saw that like he does Auburn podcasts and then he has like this Auburn helmets. He must have went to Auburn or played for Auburn or something. Take accountability so the NCAA will take accountability on them. So the NCAA will or won't? You mean won't? So it looks good that they went forward and said, hey, you know what? We realized something in one of our videos that something was said. All right. Gracie said, as the parent of a student athlete, when my son was being recruited, we took several visits to several schools, University of South Carolina being one of them, where we did meet Coach Spurrier. Oh, is that the school Shiloh went to? Spurrier, University of South Carolina? I don't know. No, I think he went to South Carolina State. Okay. Okay, won't. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, Kia. I kind of read that into it. So yay that they did that. So maybe the call not coming from within the house. But just because they self-imposed, where did the information come from? Did the call come from in the house? Did it come from outside and then somebody inside? Hopefully it has nothing to do with CU. Hopefully somebody outside called it out, brought it to their attention, and they were like, okay, look, before this gets out here, let's just go to the NCAA and say, look, we didn't realize that this took place, but Coach Prime has elected to take some courses so to make sure he's on the rules, and we just want to go ahead and put it out there. That's what I'm thinking. The more we like talk about this, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, Gracie. Okay. Thank you for that firsthand um account. I appreciate that. I appreciate the clarity. Thank you. So they do meet the coaches. So the visits are public. The kids can meet the coaches. Because I'm like, why would you go visit a football team and you don't meet the coach? You can meet the coach. The coach knows they're there. It's public information they're there. But the coach is in violation if before December 4th, which is National Signing Day, even though they could switch schools after they sign, because he said his name and he said it has something to do with the visit. I don't like that. I think we got to move past that because I need to understand what is the harm and the damage. What are we trying to prevent with this rule? Like, what are the repercussions of Coach Prime saying Julian's name, even if it's not a rule? Like, you can look at something and go, okay, I see we need this rule in place to protect XYZ. What is this rule trying to prevent? Prevent. Somebody let me know. That's petty. I guess it seems if we talking about the rule being petty, it is petty. Everything is above board. Now y'all tell me, and Gracie, you probably know because your son was a student athlete. Um, what? Oh, when you go to visit one school, like if you play at the University of South Carolina, if you want to go visit Colorado, or you is the student athlete required to tell their current coach, I'm going, or the school they committed to, I'm gonna go, like Juju's at USC. Was he required to tell Lincoln Riley, hey, on October 26th in June of 2024, I'm gonna go visit Colorado? Is that a requirement? Here's what I'm getting at by asking all of these questions: the validity of the rule. Does it even make sense in 2025? In the NIL era, it does not make sense because when you think about, you have freedom to actually hold on one second. When you have freedom to offer a kid $10 million, $10 million, you trying to tell me I'm free to move about freely to move about the cabin and offer a high schooler who hadn't even graduated yet, after he committed to one school like Juju did, $10 million, but that's not a violation when he changes to another school and it appears to be pay for play. But Coach Prime only said his name. It's because he said his name. If he'd have said we had students to visit and they enjoyed themselves or whatever, I don't know what he said. We had students like 3 students to visit, and he didn't mention anybody's name. That's cool. So he didn't spill the beans that they visited. He said his name. I want y'all to understand this is about saying someone's name before December the 4th. And December the 4th doesn't change anything. It's just a celebratory window to put on caps and take off your hoodie and say, hey, I'm going to Oregon. And when Oregon loses in the playoffs, you leave. So to me, Coach Prime should not, no coach. Any coach should be able to say a player's name if the player's visit is public information. That's the connection I'm making. The visit is public information. There's nothing binding about December the 4th. It's just a celebration for high school students to tell the world where they going to college, and they free to change their minds. It's not binding. Even if you sign and say, I'm going to Oregon, if they lose in the playoffs, you can leave because it just happened. There's nothing binding about December the 4th. So I don't understand why December the 4th is a big deal if the information is public and it's on Google and the student athletes meet the coaches. I rest my case. That's where I'm at. That's where I am. That's where I am. It just don't make no sense. It said taping violations that you are basically provoking individual and he's not really going to your school. Did you say provoking? How is he provoking by saying Juju was here for a visit? It's public information. So he's only saying what is already known. He's not revealing any information. So that's not provoking. And this is the NIL era. Remember, Oregon had a quarterback to sign on signing day, a high school quarterback. This high school quarterback then spent bowl week with Oregon, just like Juju and some of the other new buffs spent with Colorado. After Colorado lost the Alamo Bowl, they didn't lose, as far as I know, any recruits. Oregon lost its quarterback. I don't know where he went, but he gone. He bounced. So you know he had NIL money. You know there was an offer from Oregon. That's Daddy Bucks. You know they got money. So if the money can't keep them there, Coach Prime saying Julian's name is a non-factor in the NIL era. In the NIL era. Because money really is what's making people move around. Would you agree with that? Blue Devil, I don't think so. I'm sorry. We don't think so about what? I don't know what we're talking about, but I just don't think the rule applies anymore. I just don't think it does. Now, maybe pre-NIL, maybe, right? Maybe you could say the strongest, the strongest bond back then was your word or a visit. Like back then, a visit was huge, A visit don't mean nothing no more. It's just a little vacation time. That's really what it is. You just get to flex. Oh, I got invited to UT. I got invited to Colorado. I got invited by 25 schools. It's kind of like when a kid gets offered 100 offers to college. It's just a moment to celebrate. You're going to visit this school. You're going to visit that school for football, for academics, and you don't have to go to neither one of them. And a coach or a lecturer saying your name isn't going to hold you. You're going to go where you want to go. I mean, I think that's always been the case. But in the case of NIL, $10 million is what had one player leapfrogging from the University of Topeka in Kansas to Buffalo. Not because, this coach was on a podcast and said his name because he came to visit the school. Yeah, we know that. It's public information. Coach Prime didn't reveal anything that wasn't already publicly out there. That's my point. December 4th is not binding. They can change their mind after December the 4th. So nothing should be hanging on December the 4th. That's just a celebratory moment for the players. After the offers are a celebratory moment. Like y'all said, Duke the Scoot's nephew got an offer. Well, they probably going out to celebrate. It's a celebratory moment. That doesn't mean he's going to one school over the other because You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a celebratory moment. December the 4th, celebratory moment because as we see, National Signing Day can come and go and you can change your mind. No coach should face sanctions over something where a kid can change their mind. That's my point. Um, did Juju said himself that he was going from university? Yeah, he said it himself. Juju soft committed. I think November. Hold on, I got it right here. It says, here's a timeline right here. I hope y'all can still see me. Elite USC quarterback Julian Lewis returns to Colorado for a visit October 25th. Then Julian Lewis commits to Colorado. Deion Sanders lands a 5-star QB November 22nd. 5-star quarterback Julian Lewis, the number 2 recruit in the 2025 class, announced his commitment on the Pat McAfee show. Okay? On November 21st, the same day I think that this taping happened, maybe. I need to double check that. It said Colorado lands 5-star Julian Lewis. What did this mean for Deion? What happened with USC? While Lewis has been committed to USC for nearly a year and a half, he changed his mind. He got older. He realized what matters. And he realized the current state of USC. And so did the other quarterback. So yeah, Juju said it. And get this. If somebody could go to Impulse Sports. That's who put the headline out that was petty that said Coach Prime is being punished by the NCAA. In that article, it talks about the day that Coach Prime said Juju's name. And that's how they said it in the article. I thought they said it was the 21st. Now, if y'all notice on that timeline, that was an article from the New York Post. They knew on the 21st that Juju committed. So if Coach Prime said that on the 21st, why is it an issue? Because it's a soft commitment? December 4th is not binding. Your scholarship's not binding. I don't know what happens if they paid you NIL money and you leave. Maybe that's binding. That might be an issue. But no money has changed hands at the soft commitment. So essentially, Coach Prime thought I'm just going to go with this. If it was the 21st, the day that the New York Post put this out, or no, the day the New York Post is saying Juju committed to Colorado. If Coach Prime was on the show on the 21st and said it on the 21st, it was a commitment. The 21st to December 4th don't matter because they could push past December 4th like Oregon's quarterback did. He went from December the 4th to spending a whole week with the people and decided to change his mind, even with NIL on the table. So there's certain things that matters to these athletes. Maybe it's more money from another school. I don't even know where he went. But the point is December 4th is not binding. So I don't see nothing wrong with what Coach Prime said. It's not like he lied. It's not like he said, yeah, Juju Lewis came to visit and he trying to make all the other coaches think he interested. And that's flat out false. It's publicly documented. He was there in June, and October 26th, he went to the Cincinnati game. On the 21st, he committed. It's a soft commitment, but it's a commitment. December 4th is a hard commitment, but it's not binding. So it says, you're right. This sounds mostly like a made-up rule, right? They dig deep to come up with this garbage. What is wrong with saying a name? Thank you. Especially if the name has been attached to a body that has been to your school twice. And if the 21st is the day Coach Prime was on the show, that's the day Juju soft committed. So Coach Prime thought he could mention the visit. I don't know. I don't see anybody being sanctioned for something that's not binding. What is wrong with saying a name only if you Coach Prime that it counts against you? Now, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pin that because that's how I feel. You summed up my entire argument. You trying to tell me no other coach out here, whether he was on tape or at dinner with his wife or his team, said an athlete's name. Oh, Tommy Johns came and he visited. Yeah, he was good. Maybe somebody at the bank asked him. Maybe he had to make a bank run. Oh, I heard you got two players from Colorado coming down to visit you. Yeah, they had a good weekend. Tommy John and Derek Fisher. Okay, whatever. Why is that a problem? It's public information. It says, then you're right. It's a petty argument against Coach Pride. Right. Like you had to go dig. You had to know about that on the 21st. And to me, I feel like the NCAA should be like, you know what? I'm not getting in this. He soft committed on the 21st. I know national signing day is December 4th, but it's not binding. Precedence, Oregon's quarterback signed on December 4th, and he left after they lost. There we go. So here's the thing. If December 4th is not binding, honestly, they can't say their name till they suit up for the first game because it's not official until they put them pads on and either play the spring game. And we know they leave after the spring game. They said they expect Ryan Schaub to leave after the spring game. We knew there were players that went to the Alamo Bowl that were planning to leave. So the onus, like the players get all of this. Okay, nobody can say your name, but you can come to the school, you can go visit, you can hang out, you can go to the playoffs, you can go to the bowl games, and then you can leave. That's silly. That gotta go. I said that they were allowed because as a parent of a former student athlete who has gone on recruiting visits, we did meet the coach. Oh, okay. Blue Devils, I don't think so, was to Gracie's comment regarding student athletes being able to visit the coach. Okay. All right. So I think we landed somewhere. We landed somewhere. We don't know what this rule, when it was put in place, what it was put in place to protect or prevent. C, we know it seems to be outdated in the NIL era because you're not going to tell me you're more concerned about a coach saying a player who visited the school and it was public knowledge that he visited twice, his name before December the 4th, but December the 4th is not binding. But you care more about a coach saying a player's name before December 4th. You care less about a high school student who hasn't even started his last semester of high school, who had previously a year ago or 6 months ago or 2 days ago committed to the University of Topeka in Kansas. And then here comes along Big Pockets Blue, offer him $10 million. And the next thing you know, he's switching schools to the school that offered him the $10 million. So here's the question. When was the $10 million offered? If it was before, it was pay to play. If it was afterwards, you're lying. You're lying. So you trying to tell me with all the offers that the number one quarterback in the country had, and he knew he was the number one quarterback in the country, and he committed to University of Topeka in Kansas, what was so special about you that he just wanted to jump ship with you? And you like, oh, cool. And since you decided to come play for us because you want to wear the blue and gold, here's $10 million. Oh, that's how it went down? Oh, okay. All right. There's a bridge I can sell you for $1.99. It's called I-75. If you want to be concerned about something, be concerned about something like that could be against real violations, pay for play, because that's against the rules. And it's not great. It's not a gray area at all. We know what it's intended to protect and prevent. This over here, saying somebody's name before December the 4th, December the 4th is not binding. That means you shouldn't say their name to say they suit up for their first game in pads and they play. And if they don't ever play and they just suit up, you shouldn't say their name either, because they could always leave. So that's that. I'm gonna leave it right there. That doesn't make any sense. If I was an NCAA, I wouldn't even get. I'd be like, you know what? Thank you for bringing this to our attention, but we're gonna sit down and look at this rule and see if it applies in the NIL era, because things have really changed, and we don't believe that a coach saying a player's name, you know, until a date that's not binding is really something we should be concerned about right now. We have more pressing matters, and we want to protect or prevent, you know, foul play when it comes to sanctions, when it comes to pay for play. That's what they need to be focused on. That's all I'm saying. So that's it, guys. Y'all know we've been on here an hour and 19 minutes. We really get to talking. We really get to talking. I appreciate y'all. And we got more likes than we got people in the chat. That's good. Thank y'all for hitting up those likes. I guess we're gonna go on and get out of here. I don't know if y'all gonna make it to tonight, but if y'all can't make it to tonight, I understand because we hung out already. So tonight is game night. Get your culture up. We're playing culture tags. And I generally like to pick um the puzzle you have to solve. I'll say it that way, the hashtag you have to solve and figure out what it says, something that is pertaining to the topic. And I already have my list of topics to discuss tonight. I'll give y'all a sneak peek. One is game night. Two on the list, Coach Prime loses 4 home visits due to saying Juju's name out loud. I'm going to revisit it, but we kind of can scratch it off the list. But I'm going to bring it back up just in case there are any developments. Next is I have some poll results. I sent a poll out on YouTube via post asking who you rolling with in the NFC championship, who you rolling with in the AFC. And I have some good comments that's gonna make a Super Bowl combination that nobody has guessed yet. Y'all know everybody guessed the Chiefs and the Eagles, but there's some other combinations. People have guessed the Bills and the Commanders. But the results I got, something nobody has guessed. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Shador Sanders. I have some info to share. And that's it. That's what's on our topic. So if you want to make it tonight, bring your snacks. We're playing game night. We'll introduce the puzzle in the beginning, the hashtag to solve, and we'll come back and give the answer. We'll try to let you guess in the chat. And yeah, we're going to have some fun tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully y'all can make it. But if y'all can't, I understand. Y'all already hopped on here once. It says Shiloh was originally at South Carolina. Oh, okay. Okay. So that's a different school than where your son went, right? You said University of South Carolina. He went to South Carolina State. So they call South Carolina State, South Carolina. Okay. I'm an hour from there. I haven't hung out. I want to go back and visit. I saw like some beautiful lakes. Just in case y'all don't know, 80% of the United States population lives 2 hours from Atlanta. That's why Hartsfield-Jackson is the busiest airport out here in the world. Secondly, Atlanta is 1 hour from the state line of South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama. We got a further way to go to get to Florida. We got to go down like several. Is it down or up? No, we got to go up. Nope, we got to go down. We got to go down. Okay, so I have to think about it. So we have to go down like the Pensacola, or I think they said Jacksonville is 3 hours from. So 1 hour away, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Alabama. So that's just some little, I didn't need to know that, 80% of the world's population is 2 hours from Atlanta. That's why Hartsfield-Jackson always so crowded, though, just in case y'all was wondering. All right, y'all. I guess we can get out of here. I thank y'all for the likes. Everybody got the likes up. I appreciate it. Normally when I post my live, they take a live of their own afterwards. If y'all see it again in your feed and you like, I watched it already, just open it and hit the like button. Leave me some emojis or just comment replay gang or whatever. I'll take that. So that's helping algorithm find my channel. So thank y'all so much. This has been wonderful. And remember, you can, I do believe you can see the chat again afterwards if you want to refer back to it. I typically like to set it up that way, but I was kind of in a rush to get this one up. So I'm going to check to see if you can see it. Otherwise, I look forward to tonight, game night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring your snacks and get your culture up. Peace, guys. Talk to you later. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining.